All right, it's 5:27. My plans for going to the gym at 1 in the morning is not going to happen, or waking up at 1 in the morning, because the master instructor said we had to stay till 5 o'clock. So it was a fun group, but I'm like, fuck. When he's not there, I can leave at 3:30. But it was fun, meaning that I got everyone to do CPR many times and practice singly in front of everyone, which is how I love it. And and then after, I'm gonna go to get groceries because I don't have food for tomorrow. Like my veggie pates, I ate all the cheese, little baby bells. So I'll probably be going to bed around 9 instead of 7. So I'm not gonna sleep for 4 hours. Never say never. I'm gonna sleep when I get home. If I'm gonna be a warrior and do 4 hours of sleep, maybe, I don't know. If not, I'll wake up at 3. But anyways, I gotta buy some food. And I spoke to the master instructor afterwards about, well, first of all, I told her about what happened about, I mentioned the person having epileptic seizures in the morning, and the ambulance coming and bringing her to the hospital. She seizured 2 other times. It was like crazy. And then she started crying after that. It's really bad. But funny, one of the guys who was in the class, he didn't show up afterwards, but he did show up later, right? And one of the people had said that he didn't sleep much because his mother went into convulsions the night before. I'm like, what? It's happening to everyone, But he came. Fun was had by all. Really liked the CPR part that we did. Really did. But I had mentioned to the master instructor of me telling the other woman that I mentioned this, the other woman that I work with, about the convulsion. And then she went right into like, oh, I had a situation happen too. And talking about choking. And the person was choking on mucus because she had a throat surgery, and then she fell to the floor and it came out. And then she says afterwards, like, I was asking her questions. I wasn't there. They called me. And she said, like, encouraged her to cough. And I was like, I thought you said it was a complete obstruction. How can you make him cough if they're blocked? She was like, I was like smelling the bullshit, right? And she ends up saying she wasn't there and all that crap. I'm like, what this fucking bitch is saying? Oh my God. And she never asked me about my situation, so I didn't tell her. I just kept asking her questions. But I meant to said in my head, this is a fucking bitch, right? And then I mentioned it to my master instructor because he had met her once. And I mentioned, and I told this story. And I said, oh, I'm not going to do gossip and that. But then he said, yeah, tell me. And I said, okay. And I said, she's a fucking narcissistic person. Too much narcissistic. It's like, she's in her own way, you know what I mean? So fuck that bitch, But the talk I had with the master instructor was pretty interesting also. So I mentioned, he knows I passed my exam for this new course I'm taking. And I decided to mention to him about nursing, and I'm bridging courses. And he knew about it. And they have it in the French sector too. And I'm like, what? And that's how I got my first bachelor. Like, they say, just take these few courses and we'll let you in. I'm like, what? So I said, we got to talk, And then he also mentioned that you could actually, work, teaching, get paid for that, and then go to school. Like, so you could take less teaching classes, but get paid to teach. I'm like, what? Like, he mentioned all these things that got me overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, let me focus on this right now, what I'm dealing with, and then for the future to be able to do that. you know, what I want is to be able to not have a ceiling, to go further, open up more doors, some more possibilities. You know what I mean? And yeah, that kind of like, I said, with doing that, and then a lot of doors are open, you know? So, but I'm not in a rush. If I die now, it's okay. You know what I mean? But it's always good to have something to look forward to. You know what I mean? And I'm about keeping my brain healthy, you know? Yeah. It's 6:25. We're Friday the 24th. Only have one bag today, but because I have another bag at the school teaching, and some knee mats and some bandage bag, the little red first aid type kit with bandages. I gotta bring those home. I'm gonna do some more grocery shopping. Whew, what a day. It's pretty cold outside, like 5 degrees. Still got the sweatshirt on. I managed to get through a routine, but I set the alarm for 3 a.m. instead of 1, because there was no chance. I was like, I went to bed after 9, so I didn't even get 6 hours sleep. I was groggy as hell. Well, stiff as hell, because I've been walking a lot, you know. So like yesterday I clocked in at 13,000 steps. The day before it was a record breaker. Day before I was where was I teaching? I don't remember at the moment because the brain isn't that good right now, but 17,000 steps. So it's like, oh. So there's a cumulative fatigue of my lower legs towards the ankles. But no plantar fasciitis, no nothing, but everything is stiff. And my groin area too, like around the upper legs and the groin, and not exactly the groin, but adductors and all that stuff. All that area. Hamstrings, like upper hamstrings towards the insertion, the ischial tuberosities, but yeah. Oof. So it took a while for that to warm up a bit. So suffice it to say, I already had... See, I'm already off kilter because I'm used to waking up at 1. But anyways, I'm used to taking more caffeine past week or so earlier. So I had only 200 milligrams of caffeine. I'm trying to, you know, have a little bit of a headache. I haven't eaten yet. There's a lot going on that I'm trying to mitigate. Finally got to watching some more Dr. Tracy Marks videos, habit formation and all that stuff, which I really like her videos. Of course, there were other things that came into my algorithm, but it finally went on to her videos, which is reassuring for me. So it's 7:39. I just took the 3rd dose of caffeine, so we're up to 300 milligrams. It's going to be a tough day. I was trying to read a little bit for doing my lesson plan for this class in December. Yeah, I'm still not awake, obviously. And I can barely walk because back of my upper hamstrings, it's all painful. Lower leg towards the ankles are painful. Gotta floss my teeth now. Alright, so problem fixed with getting my computer to the screen. We had to change classes for this class, but I just needed my dongle and just removed the HDMI from this thing. And now I don't need a code anymore. Yeah, there we go. So if I ever have to teach on the weekend here at the other place, I will touch that stuff. Because initially I don't like to touch. I don't like to break things. I don't like to experiment unless it's my stuff, and I don't mind breaking it.